In this video, you will learn how to use a website called unsplash.com to source high-resolution, royalty-free photographs. You will also learn how to resize those high-resolution photographs to be more web-friendly. Before we go to unsplash.com, first, take a look at your homepage to consider where you might want to include an image. For instance, by default, you have a video playing in the background in this header area. Perhaps you would like to change that from a video to a still image. Another area that you might want to consider sourcing a photograph for would be the background of your featured projects area. Or perhaps one of these call-out boxes where it says digital marketing, entertainment business, or sports media. These will eventually change to be content pieces that you created in future classes. So perhaps you want to change these images to correspond nicely with the content to the right of it. Now let's go to unsplash.com. On unsplash.com, you're faced with a search field. In the search field here, you can search hundreds of thousands of royalty-free images for your digital portfolio website. Let's pretend for a moment that we are in music business. If we just simply search music, we are faced with thousands of images that would be wonderful for us to add to our digital portfolio website. Consider your personal brand as you're looking through these images. Which images really speak to the attributes that you hold dear and want to portray to your visitors? Or perhaps you're in sports marketing and media. By clicking on search and then searching sports, you find thousands of images that would work really well to convey your personal brand and area of expertise. For the sake of this tutorial, I actually need to source an image of orange groves. By searching for orange groves, I will find thousands of images that have to do with either oranges or groves. I'm in luck. This first image here is perfect for a background image that I have in mind for my digital portfolio website. Once I've clicked on it, I can look at it close up or further away. If I'm satisfied with the image, I want to click Download Free, the green button in the top right. When I do, I'm given the option to include it on my local device. I'll click Save. I will mention that it's always nice to say thank you to the producer of the photograph. While it's not required, it's certainly a nice gesture. You can include this photo credit underneath the photo directly on your digital portfolio site, or you could perhaps create a resources page and include all the photographs that you use on one single page. If you choose not to, that's perfectly fine as well. The authors of the photographs on unsplash.com understand that it's not required. But again, it's always a nice gesture. Okay, now that we have downloaded the image that we want to upload to our digital portfolio site, we're going to have to resize the image. I'm going to show you a way to use your preview application on your MacBook Pro in order to resize an image. First, locate the image on your local device and double-click it to open it up in Preview. You'll know you're in Preview when in the top menu bar, it'll say Preview next to the apple, along with File, Edit, View, Go, Tools, Window, and Help. Now that you have your image loaded in Preview, you'll want to select Tools. Under Tools, you'll want to select Adjust Size. Now, this particular image is a huge file. It's 1.1 megabytes. We have to significantly shrink the file size in order for it to be more web-friendly. If we were to try to upload this image as is, perhaps one of two things will happen. First, the servers may be overloaded and may not allow you to upload your image at all to your WordPress digital portfolio site. Or second, if you did upload it, then every time a visitor visits that page, the page will take longer to load and your visitor will get frustrated. We don't want that to happen. So let's resize this image. First, consider where you might include the image. In this particular instance, I'm going to have this image be a background, say for a header or perhaps behind text. So If that's the case, I still need it to be a rather large image. I just don't want it to be this large. Up in the Fit into, you can click under Pixels, Custom, and then the drop-down menu gives you several custom options. For a background image, especially one that would be featured in your header area, I would recommend choosing 1024 times 768. You can go as large as 1280 1024. However, 1024 768 will usually get the job done. Let's select that. Now, for a moment, let's say that we wanted to instead include this image, and I'll go back to the website for just a moment. Let's say we wanted to include it here in one of these call-out boxes on the home page rather than as the background image that's rather large. This image here can be much smaller. So if we go back to the preview window, if you were going to include it in a smaller call-out box, then perhaps 800 by 600 or even 640 by 480 would be the appropriate size for you. Okay, now that we have resized our photograph in pixels, if you come down to the resulting size, you'll see here that it started at 1.2 megabytes and is all the way down to 251 kilobytes now, much, much smaller. This is exactly what we needed. Now we click OK. Our photograph has been resized, and we need to make sure that we're saving the file as a smaller file size. So Command S to save. Another way to save your file would be go to File and then down to Save. Now we've saved our file as a smaller file size. You can click Out of Preview. Now we need to upload our file to our digital portfolio website. And the way that you would do that is you first need to be on the back end of your site in the dashboard area, as you see here. On the left menu, you'll notice an option that says Media. Under Media, you'll notice Library and Add New. Click Add New. Here, you can upload that file that you just got done resizing. Select File, find the file on your local device. I'm going to actually rename the file and then click Open. And now you see that it's been added to our library. So if we go back to Media Library on the left side here, you'll notice that the image now shows up in my image media library. And that's how you source images that are high resolution and royalty free from unsplash.com. And that's also how you resize the image to be more web friendly using Preview on your MacBook Pro.